Hey, today we have to talk about everything that is wrong with Elden Ring Patch 1.09. This hotfix sort of came out as a surprise, just as every update does by FromSoftware, although we kind of knew this was going to happen, especially if you've watched my previous video that I had uploaded about a month ago, essentially talking about how this hotfix was going to be released eventually, and well, it happened. We received 1.09.1. Yet what's interesting is that update 1.09, which came out on March 23rd, had a few buffs that were completely bugged. Eventually, FromSoftware would release hotfix 1.09.1 on April 18th, 2023. And sure, the storm felt like it had passed by us. This is until players notice more issues in the game. The first problem is with invading. Yes, so there appears to be a new invader bug going on that is completely nuts. I'll explain how it is possible here shortly. Now before I do that, allow me to explain the issue going on with PvP. If you happen to be a new player to the game, you might have had a player with high stats and level invade your world without the game properly matching you up with someone with similar levels and stats. This is indeed a glitch that will allow you to be paired against players that are new or otherwise low levels. I'm not sure why some are taking advantage of this, because there really is no point when it comes down to the rewards or rankings. There's nothing like that with Elden Ring's PvP, so it's really strange to see, people perform this glitch just to ruin new players' experience. The only way this is possible is by searching for players to invade, then lowering down your stats to 0 with respec, then adding max HP and strength last second before the game pulls you into the new player's lobby. And with that out of the way, let's go on and talk about number 2. This involves the short bow, essentially allowing you to shoot out great arrows. It has been around probably before 1.09.1. I just recently discovered this, so I was kind of shocked. This is all possible by filling out all of the slots here with arrows and then making sure on the top left that it is indeed a great arrow. You then want to have your arrow out, and you want to make sure that you shoot, and then as you're dropping, and you have to do it in a quick motion, you want to then shoot out the heavy. So whichever button that is for you. For myself on PC, I click shift and then left click on the mouse, and I double click that just to, for whatever reason, it helps me shoot it out faster. For you guys on PC, it might not be, so it's really up to you on preference. This is another glitch that a lot of players have been utilizing in PvP, so if you've came across this is how it's done, and if there is any way for you to avoid it, it is possible. You can roll through those Radon arrows. Continuing towards number 3, we are going to use a new glitch going on, which is called an affinity glitch on any weapon. How is this possible? Well, what you want to do is have 2 weapons that are the exact same, and then for the Ashes of War, you want to make sure that the affinity is the same. It does not matter if the Ashes of War is the same, so for example here, you can mix it up if you'd like, it really doesn't matter. Then what you want to go to sort chest, and then we want to sort our items. We are going to then throw over the flail, then go back over towards the right, and then toss that flail over towards the left. One thing to quickly note is that, you can use any weapon, really. It does not matter whether it's the flail, a great axe, a great sword, it does not matter. Once you have it swapped over, go towards the Ashes of War, then we want to choose the weapon that is not equipped, and we want to undo the enchantment. You then should notice on the bottom left that we still have the affinity equipped. You can then apply bleed and cold all at the same time. This is really interesting, and it's, I guess, not an entirely game-breaking bug, right? But it is pretty fun to use. I do see them patching this eventually, because it is pretty effective on bosses and even these smaller enemies here. There is an interesting glitch and bug that I'm going to be showing you here shortly that you can then add on top of this bug to make it even better. We first want to arrive over here at Lake Facing Cliff, then make our way down towards the bottom where you typically see these tombstones that are attached to the wall. We of course want to make our way safely down here without falling towards our death. And before I go any further, I'm sure some of you are probably thinking, is he really excited about glitches, even though the title is called Everything That's Wrong, or essentially something that's wrong with Elden Ring? Yeah, of course I'm excited. Look at the channel name, Glitch Unlimited. So yeah, I'm going to show you something really interesting about it, but I'm sure it's going to be fixed, and I'm sure it does affect PvP to some extent. We want to make our way towards the bottom and then go towards the right and head straight towards this carriage at the end where there's that broken bridge. What you should see is a chest there, and you can then loot it and pick up the item known as Tree Spear. You guys should be quite familiar with this if you've seen my previous videos talking about this. And what this is going to allow you to do is throw on Holy pretty much on any weapon. This is only possible due to the Tree Spear skill, which is Shared Order. If you use the Ashes of War or the skill, and then swap over towards a weapon like the flail, for example, you can then have both cold, holy, and bleed all on one flail. It's pretty insane, and it's quite useful, especially if you are in an area where some of these enemies are effective against holy. This is something else that I'm sure is being utilized in PvP. It's kind of funky, yet it does indeed work. If you're curious on will this get you banned if you do attempt at it in PvP, well then I have some bad news, because it's not going to get you banned. For whatever reason, FromSoftware, they only ban players that are cheating with either a modified program, or if they modify their files to where even, the good old cheat detection picks it up. This is the only way that it's possible. So when you do utilize a glitch in PvP, they are not going to do a single thing. And last but not least, we are going to talk about how buffs are not applied correctly. Again, yes, so this is currently going on. For example, if I use something like Catch Flame, you're going to see that the damage is applied, it's inflicted. And then if we go over towards this next clip where I use Contagious Fury, which is on the Jellyfish Shield, and what should happen is that my damage should be buffed. Yet what it does instead is it will then give you no damage. Yet these enemies can be stunned. And what's so interesting about this is that it does not just stop there, because with Rally Standard, it does the same exact thing. If you're wondering why I'm showcasing this again, it's just to simply get the word out there, because some players are not aware of this. And if that's the case, who knows, maybe even the own developers over there from FromSoftware do not know about this. This does not work with any of the frenzy incantations as well. If you use Rally in Standard, or Golden Vow, or pretty much any buff. For example, in this clip, you're going to see Rally in Standard, and then myself using the Frenzy spell or incantation right afterwards. This same exact issue went on with 1.09 when the buffs were not applied correctly towards spells. They eventually fixed that, yet then we take a look at 1.09.1. It's the same issue, the same ongoing problem. The question right now is whether or not this is going to be fixed now or later on, possibly when DLC's released, which that would be insane if it's that long. But is that going to be something that's going to totally game break the game for people, for glitches or bugs like this to be fixed? Probably some people would complain and say, yeah, this is pretty game breaking. I would say, I would probably agree with it, to be honest. And I mean, look at it if you were a new player coming into this game, right? You would probably be down out that nothing's working properly when it comes to buffing your stuff. So that might be a downer. Is this going to be something that's going to affect Elden Ring? No, absolutely not. That's probably why they're ignoring this for the most part. And on top of that, they do have downloadable content that they are working on, aka Shadow of the Erdtree. This only makes sense as to why the developers are probably not updating the game just yet, is because they do have that downloadable content that they probably, and I don't mean probably, as in like probably, no, they absolutely need to make sure that this is polished. I'm personally excited to see what will happen in the future when it comes to Elden Ring, especially the downloadable content. It's going to be intriguing. I'm interested in what you guys think of the current issues. Do you think this is going to be patched sooner than later? If so, let me know down below in the comments section. And if you are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe, turn the notifications on. And most importantly, if you are subscribed and a member, thank you so much for supporting the channel. And I'll see you all in the next video.